Ever noticed you keep falling for the same kind of person? All your relationships feel familiar. Toxic, unhealthy, draining. You think the next one will be different, but somehow you're back at square one. Same arguments, same manipulation, same heartbreak, just a different face. At first you blame bad luck. Then you wonder, maybe it's you, or maybe it's them. But when the pattern repeats again and again, you start to believe no one's good for you, that no one understands you, that love always ends like this. But here's what you don't realize. The problem runs deeper. It's not just about them. It's something inside you, something that turns you into a magnet for toxicity, a pattern that keeps pulling you into the same kind of pain, the same cycle, the same punishment. And every time, you still call it love. Hey, this is Facts in 5, where we talk about psychology, life, and all the things people feel, but never say out loud. Today we're diving into repetitive compulsion, a psychological trap that reprograms your brain to chase the same thrill, even if it's the same thrill that once broke you. Repetitive compulsion can start in many ways, but the most common is childhood emotional neglect. You were ignored, unloved. That's when your mind first learned that love could mean absence, and pain could feel normal. But it doesn't end in childhood. It gets louder in your adult relationships. Maybe your first partner was a narcissist, or someone who abused your trust, made you feel unworthy, but you stayed. You tolerated everything. You adjusted to the chaos. You told yourself it was love. Fights became passion. Anxiety became excitement. Inconsistency, mystery. We argue, we fight, we break, but we come back. We love each other, you said. And with that, your entire definition of love changed, and you didn't even notice. Then one day, they leave, abandon you. No apology, no explanation, and most importantly, no closure. And when you don't get emotional closure, your mind doesn't move on. It gets locked in, trapped in a cycle it's desperate to complete. That kind of pain is the worst. Not the kind that breaks you, but the kind that leaves you unfinished and scarred. Now your brain is trying to play the same game, but win this time. And deep inside, something whispers, maybe this time, it'll end differently. Maybe this time, I'll be loved the right way. But here's the twist. You're already stuck in the loop. Now you're not looking for someone better. You're looking for someone familiar, someone who treats you the same way. And now, with your idea of love already distorted, healthy love feels foreign. Calm feels boring, and the one that hurts you, that one still feels like home. Your brain subconsciously seeks completion of painful loops. You crave the same chaos that broke you, and this is how repetitive compulsion gets triggered. This isn't just theory. Sigmund Freud first observed repetitive compulsion in trauma survivors, how they kept reenacting their deepest wounds in new relationships. And modern fMRI studies, including the work of neuroscientist Helen Fisher, have shown that the brain's reward system can activate when we experience familiar emotional triggers, even when those patterns are harmful. Why? Because the brain isn't always chasing happiness. It's chasing what it knows. And deep down, it's trying to finish the story that was left unfinished. Repetitive compulsion doesn't just stop at attracting toxic love. It goes deeper. It starts changing how you see yourself. You begin to reject real love, healthy love. When someone genuinely cares for you, you feel uncomfortable, suspicious. You start thinking, they must have other motives. You assume they don't love you because it doesn't feel familiar. There's no chaos, no drama, no pain. So this time, you leave. And when you find someone who reminds you of your toxic ex, you want to be chosen by them, as if their attention will prove your worth. You start measuring your value based on whether someone toxic wants you. This leads to overgiving, to begging, to tolerating humiliation, just to win back attention from someone who makes you feel like nothing. And soon, your emotions start breaking down. You become numb, because now you're addicted to validation. As long as they're with you, even if it's humiliating, you tell yourself it's fine. You stop feeling anything, but then it flips. You swing to the opposite extreme. A single missed text feels like abandonment. You react violently. You spiral. everything becomes a trigger. After failing to connect again and again, enduring the same cycle of pain, you start to doubt the world. You believe everyone is toxic, that no one is capable of loving you. And then it cuts even deeper. You start doubting yourself. You ask, why do I keep doing this? What's wrong with me? Why do I always ruin everything? And worst of all, you risk becoming psychologically imprinted. This is the deepest spiral you can fall into. Because when you're imprinted by a toxic ex, you don't move on. You wait. You hope they'll come back. You crave them, not just emotionally, but physically. Their presence, their touch, their voice. Anyone else feels meaningless. You try to connect with others, but nothing feels the same. They haunt you, even when they're gone. And every failed attempt to replace them just makes the imprint stronger. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just stuck in a pattern that was planted in you. And every time you go through it again, it gets harder to recognize what love is supposed to feel like. So how do you stop chasing ghosts? How do you break out of a pattern that doesn't just hurt you, but has reshaped your entire definition of love? Step 1, recognize the pattern. Write it down. Every relationship, every trigger, every time you felt the same pain with a different face. Look for emotional copy-paste moments. Ask yourself, who does this remind me of? Because once you see the pattern, you can stop blaming yourself for being inside it. Step 2, rewire your blueprint. If love used to mean anxiety, abandonment, and pain, then peace will feel uncomfortable at first. You'll want to run. You'll think it's fake. Stay. Let calm feel safe. Let boring be enough. Let healthy love grow, even if your nervous system screams that something's missing. That missing feeling, that's just your trauma craving chaos again. Step 3, cut the imprint. If you've been psychologically imprinted by a toxic ex, you have to go full no contact. Not just blocking them, but also deleting the texts, the photos, the fantasy. Stop hoping they'll come back, because every time you feed the hope, the wound stays open. Your mind needs silence to heal. Your body needs time to unlearn the addiction. Step 4, get help if you need it. Some patterns are too deep to untangle alone. Therapies like EMDR, internal family systems, or even trauma-informed CBT can help you safely rewire how your brain responds to love and pain. There's no shame in needing support. This isn't weakness, it's recovery. Step 5, reconnect with the real you. Before the trauma, before the overgiving, before you tied your worth to someone else choosing you. Who were you before you started mistaking pain for passion? You don't find healing through another person. You find it when you stop searching for closure and start giving yourself what they never did. This won't be easy, and it won't happen overnight. But patterns can be broken. Wounds can be rewired. Your brain was programmed once, and it can be programmed again. Your idea of love isn't permanent. It's just shaped by what you survived. So remember who you were before all this. Before the cycle, you were never too much. You were never broken. You just adapted to pain that wasn't yours to carry. And now that you're aware of this, you don't have to keep repeating what broke you. You can stop. You can step out. Because knowing what's happening to you is already the start. Awareness is the key. Thanks for watching. If this spoke to you, helped you reflect, or even just made you feel seen, consider subscribing. It helps us reach more people who might be going through the same thing, quietly, painfully, and alone.